Good morning, Miss Zhang. Thank you for coming. I hope you're doing well and hopefully you have a good spring break. So before we start anything, let's just reside in the silence or self-awareness. Okay, that's a couple of minutes. How's this? how's it is your experience? Can you be self-aware? Or it's, I'm sure you can. How fast you can? How often you can? How long you can remain online? The frequencies and ease varies from moment to moment. Very good. So anything that varies is not you. So who is perceiving the variation? If that thing varies itself. This is a very profound question. We can slow down a little bit to really have more experience instead of literal understanding. That's a very good question. The answer is the question, I believe. Yes. So right now, at every moment, there's something never changes. That's the realization we should, experience. That's called inner stillness, inner silence, pure awareness, pure consciousness. You name it. But you, me, everybody else have to realize it, have to make that word into our individual experience or realization. The sunlight is shining on planet Earth, but the sunlight can also illuminate itself, and he knows if a sound is the star knows he is illuminating not only the planet Earth or all the stars or all the planets, but also he illuminates itself. That's called self-awareness. I mean, in this context. This is pure. No matter what contents you're aware of, it doesn't matter. Because now the light of consciousness is illuminating itself. Self-awareness or the awareness, the pure awareness never changes. Yet every content of the awareness changes, ever changing. The content of the awareness is ever changing, yet the pure awareness itself is never changing. So simple. If you can stay here, recognize this, then you are all good. You can understand everything else. So, in Buddha's teaching, this self pure awareness, he used another term, or especially in Mahayana Buddhism, we use emptiness. So emptiness is not empty at all. The is the infinite potential of form, matter, and energy. Very interesting. If you really look at, have a clear picture of what I'm talking, it's like a totally still ocean that has no single wave, ripple, bubble. It's total still, yet it contains infinite possibilities of any forms of ripples, currents, bubbles, waves. Do you agree? And you are both of them. You are the ocean and you are the currents. That's my topic today. Emptiness is form. The epic teaching from Heart Sutra, and Heart Sutra is the epic teaching of Mahayana Buddhism. The pure awareness is infinitely potential, yet itself has not manifested yet. So that's called emptiness. Emptiness has another meaning, means the all the phenomenal world is empty. It has no true self, has no true everlasting existence, because everything depends on every other thing else. It's a organic, dynamic whole. Nothing can solely exist without any other things. No way. Interbeing. So interbeing, or interbeing is a word coined by Thich Nhat Hanh, right? So his word is so profound. If we only understand interbeing, we understand the whole Buddha's teaching. There's no separation between emptiness, the pure awareness, and the phenomenal world. It's like there's no separation between a mirror and its fractions. Makes sense to you? A mirror can be called a mirror is it reflects, because it reflects. Mirror manifests as its fractions. If I could translate, This emptiness is formed in analogy of mirror and reflections. The absolute is manifesting right now in the form of body, mind, also this language, this video, everything else you can see. You can see, hear, touch, listen, smell, think. The absolute, which is formless, is manifesting right now in this every moment of our life, everyone's life, in every name and form. Emptiness is form. Heaven is world. Heaven manifested as a human world, as animal world, as you know, but as a human mind or as an animal mind, even can we decode, unveil all these like mystic encryptions? So before the emptiness is formed, actually, before this sentence, there's another sentence. Form is emptiness. So form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. So we should look have over have a total understanding of two sentences. They're depicting the same picture or same realization. It contains huge information in a very simplest way. In the very simplest way, form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. I have said every form and name, like a computer, like a cell phone, like the cup, like this body, like this mind, like this very word I'm talking right now, from moment to moment, all these contents has no self, true self in it, because it depends on every other things, or we call it every phenomena, name and form is in the field of karmic force. They influence each other, increase each other, decrease each other. It's like a dynamic ocean, you can say. Each wave influencing other wave, and each wave is influenced by every other wave. Do you agree? And each every hour, the behavior, physical behavior, our mental behavior, or thoughts and feelings, emotions, is influenced by our family, our partner, our past. It's a it's a flow. It's a dynamic flow. But all these Buddha say, okay, all this is empty. And yet emptiness is form. So cool. The coolest thing in the world. So back to again, I said so many things, but again, we can simplify things. I, pure awareness, that is never changing, can perceive all the contents of this awareness and all the contents that is ever changing. So, never changing pure awareness and ever changing contents of the awareness is one thing. It's so hard. So, do you agree? It's like the mirror, the conscious mirror, our pure awareness, coexists with its reflection. Do you agree you are, say, four-dimensional conscious mirror? You can reflect space, time, and every situation in the space-time. I think it's okay to make an analogy or metaphor in this way, and this is our experience. I am, I would say, more than four-dimensional. But now let's say we are four-dimensional, pure conscious mirror that reflecting now, that is reflecting every contents in my pure awareness now, or pure the conscious mirror now. There's room, there's my voice, there's your body sensation, there's everything else, and basically this pure awareness has, let's say it's a room of pure awareness, has 6 doors, 6 windows, or you know, our 6 senses, the doors of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And again, I'll remind you that the mind is a bigger door, okay, it's the boss. Or you can say, at the front, there's 5 doors, 5 senses, and at the back, there's a bigger door or inner door of mind, the boss. And at the very behind, there's awareness. So 3 layers, 5 doors of 5 senses, an inner door, a greater door, a bigger door of mind. Then there's a pure awareness. The boss is sitting always behind, at the very important or center of the office, right? Or the very important place of the most important place of the office. That's the general manager, or the boss is sitting. And all the servants of the 5 doors, or I would say our senses is quite well functioning and working, connecting all the information and also outputting information like my word, you know, my understanding is out, is produced right now through all these senses, right? But the pure awareness is the boss, is like observing all of them undisturbed. unconditioned, open. So awakening actually has two meanings. Awakening, most important, is you have awakened to this pure observation, undisturbed, undefiled, undistracted, you know, pure watching. Or you can disidentify with the contents. Like now you are disidentify, you are not the body and the mind, you're not five senses and also the mind. So it's in Chinese we say 觉悟. So you are awakened. Wu. Wu means you understand. I'm not this. That's a negation of the realization, right? A negation way of the truth. But my topic today is a confirm affirmation way of the truth. The boss and the servants, the boss and or the pure awareness and the six senses are one thing. You see that beauty? But before I say it's one thing, at least we can separate them. You see that separation and the union is no separation, no union, right? It's and the words reach its limitation now. And you should realize the complexity or simplicity of the what I'm talking here. I can show you guys one of my experience before, like years before. I have to sit to realize this separation and union. I've sit like for at least couple minutes to realize I'm not this body mind. I'm not what I see, hear, listen, or hear, touch, smell, taste, and think. There's a space between the pure awareness and the contents of the awareness. Then I can say, okay, after this separation, then I will say, or I'll realize I am the contents of the awareness. The awareness and the contents of awareness are one thing. So after years of meditation and sharing on YouTube, now it doesn't take too much time or space to really experience it. I'm not this, but I'm also all this. Do you follow? And this diamond-like realization actually is in everybody's is everywhere. Everybody has access to it. So, how to say, interesting or mind blowing. Great, Miss Zem. So every moment we are conscious, then what we are conscious of is part of consciousness. So mirror and its reflection is one thing, yet you can tell it's different too. So there's no confliction between you're aware of, you can have that space, yet you know the space is an illusion. It's like, if I use another analogy here, there's a smart TV, there's a program in a TV or landscape in a TV. You cannot separate landscape from the TV, right? Every pixel of the landscape or a face of people on the screen, is in the screen, right? You cannot separate any pixel or any color of landscape away from the screen itself. It is the different modulations of the smart TV. The landscape is TV, yet the smart TV itself is empty. It can manifest as so many different colors, so many different forms, dramas, movies, actions, thrillers, it's totally open to what could be manifested, yet free from all the contents of the program. And you are that smart TV, infinite big and infinite small. There's no thickness of this screen of the TV. You have infinite depth. So cool. There's nothing can, beat this realization. You're so free. You're so true. And these truths can be applied to every moment, every place, every situation. Mission completed. The purpose of life is done, is realized. We have passed the final exam of human being. If I say the whole civilization is a classroom or university, 7 billion people at this generation have to hand in an exam paper to show they have passed this final examination. Then if you really get what I'm saying, you passed. Your marks at least is 60. If I say 60 over 100 is a pass line, you passed. Congratulations. Because you can use this certificate forever. It's permanent. It's a permanent certification. It's beyond space-time. Not only this life, you can use this certificate over all your life. I mean, this life. Not only this life, but also all future lives. And also you realize there's no future life. There's only this moment. There's this eternal now, as you said. You once said, Miss Sen, eternal now. There's only now, the uppercase now. In comparison to the lowercase now, lowercase now is more like the contents of the awareness. So again, to simplify, you are the never changing and the ever changing. How about that? Or you can say, so this again is affirmation of the affirmation way. So you can use the negation way. You're neither the never changing nor the ever changing. uh, both way works. The flow of information, matter, and energy is ever changing in you, around you, inside you, and fundamentally it is in you. There's never something out of you, the awareness. Is there anything, any landscape or character, movie that can be out of the smart TV? No, everything is shown or um, depicted in the smart TV. In the same way, everything you are aware of is part of you, is in you right now. Can you tell me your boundary of the awareness? Can you draw in line? This is in this inside this line is me, is my awareness, and outside that line is not my awareness. Can you draw this line? Our knowledge may be limited, our understanding may be limited, but the openness of the awareness is limited, is unlimited, is always open, receptive. Make sense to you? I've said, I forgot one thing. So I've said awakening is a kind of quantum leap from the contents of awareness to the pure awareness itself. That's one meaning of the awakening. Another meaning of the awakening is that you still have that power of differentiate. You can tell the difference between an apple and a cell phone. You can tell the difference between the cup and cell phone. Actually, you have more. You can how to say, you can differentiate in more details with a better clarity and stability. Meaning you don't lose yourself in the contents of awareness. Yet your differentiation power become more keen, accurate, focused, which is very helpful in the relative world, in the contents of the awareness. Make sense to you? Yet you can be free from every differentiation. That's such a beautiful thing. You see the balance between the emptiness and form, between zoom in and zoom out. You can zoom in, definitely. You can say, oh, this is beautiful flower. This is wonderful technology of, of computer, of the internet system. Yet you can zoom out too. You can zoom out, have that total picture. Yes, everything is beautiful, yet it's empty. The landscape of the smart TV is so beautiful, yet the landscape is on the screen, on you, is in you. It's the body mind is the spirit. You see? Or the spirit is kind of playing with the body mind, is manifesting itself as the body mind. How beautiful it is. You will at all, every moment, wow, thank you, God, or thank you, Buddha, or thank yourself, maybe. Thank myself, thank you, Brahman, thank you, Atman. Thank you for this beautiful play of everything in so many different forms and names. It's so enriched, it's so, how to say, the contents is so rich. If you go to a very big library and you look at thousands, millions of books, that's a mind, that's a body mind manifested in words, in books. How many books, how many minds, how many beautiful, contents are there? And from my experience, it solved the greatest fear of death. Years ago, the death is the final fear, right? It's the greatest fear that every human being is facing. But recently, or the couple of the past 1 or 2 years, actually this fear is decreased, dropping. Now, I will say 95% of fear is gone. 5% is more uncertainty for me. So it's not fear anymore, it's uncertainty. Actually, because we have never experienced death yet, right? But actually, we experience a temporary death every night in deep sleep. And Buddha say there's no birth and death to undergo. Sorry, I repeat. There's no body mind to undergo birth and death. Hopefully you can depict this picture or realize it by yourself. Every moment, actually, we are experiencing cease of the cessation of the feelings, emotions, sensations, perceptions, understandings, and every moment we realize the rising of the feelings, emotions, perceptions. You know, every moment we experience the wave-like, the ups and downs, the rising and the falling of the sensation, perception, understanding. But this wave, behind all this wave, as I said in the beginning of this session, there's a pure observation there. That thing never changes. So in this way, there's no birth and no death. Birth and death is our illusion. The biggest problem solved. Birth and death is in a relative time zone. So I'll change my way of speaking. Maybe in other words, we experience deep sleep every night, right? A deep sleep means no dreams. You're totally blank. There's no sense of I, there's no feelings, emotions, perceptions. Your partner disappear, your family disappear, everything disappear. So it does you disappear? This is very interesting question. You don't disappear. The contents of the awareness or the consciousness disappeared. So that's why the contents means every sensation, every thoughts, emotions, feelings, perceptions, understanding, everything disappeared. So that's why we have this blank state. It's like a mirror without any reflection. So we are not dead yet. So we are not dead yet. The deep sleep is a state that there's no contents of awareness. Nothing at all. Yet you can wake up the next morning, everything in a small band come back to you. So actually, I will say that The deep sleep is the closest we can get to the absolute. You have no sense of I. All the important things, all the terrible things or beautiful things disappeared in that state. So, in this sense, there's no birth and death. There's no body mind to undergo birth and death. You see, there's no body mind because at that state, all the body mind, all the contents of body mind ceases or cease to zero. That's why you feel the state of blank or blankness. It doesn't mean you are dead, right? Because you can wake up. In the same way, moment the body mind disappears, I mean, this physical body and this all the contents of my feelings, experiences, memories disappears. I'm not dead. So is you. So are you. So is everybody else. So we are playing in this. The space and time is an illusion that manifests as this body mind. But once you waken up, you can see the total picture. You're beyond birth and death. Sounds good to you? Shoot. Hmm. If we have no fear of death, by true understanding of the reality, then we have also understanding time is an illusion too. Or maybe a proper word is time is empty. It's a projection from the thought. Space is a product of perception, and time is a product of thinking. Do you agree? I'll repeat. Space and time, that is the simplest way to describe the world, right? And every contents or situations in the space-time. Space is a product of perception. Like now you're sitting in a room of a city of planet Earth. You have this perception of looking out. There's a sense of space. So space is a production of perception. Time is a product of thinking. In a pure awareness, there's no time. Time is in a relative zone. Do you agree? Pure awareness does not, count time. I mean, 1 day, 2 day. No. Pure awareness has no sense of time. It's always pure. It's always, you know, to know things. If you think yesterday what you had at the dinner, I mean, last night what did you have? The thinking brings a sense of time. If you can back to the pure observation, pure awareness, you can tell the difference between day and night, between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Yet, that's the contents. That's the contents of the time. Time is in the contents. It's not in the pure observation. Time does not apply to the pure awareness. And awareness can know the time, different time. Do you agree? Time is relative, is useful in a relative world. I have this appointment tomorrow. I have, I have to meet this body, I have to do something, what time today, is very useful in a relative world. And time is relative, I mean, in terms of 24 hours, days, only a concept on planet Earth. On the moon, on all the planets, a day is not 24 hours. So it's a relative concept, right? Imagine you're in outer space. You're always shined by the sun. You don't have that change, that day and night, 24 hours anymore. Make sense to you? Same as the direction of space, up and down, left and right. This is relative to. In outer space, this is neither up nor down, nor left nor right, right? Anyway, what I'm saying is, can you be free from the tricks of the mind, tricks of the perception and thinking? Can you be free? Yet you can use perception and thinking or thought to play, to manifest. As a drop of water, can you realize your entire ocean? As an entire ocean, can you realize you're not a drop of water? The drop of water, changes, varies from time to time, from space to space. A wave may arise, then fall, disappears, and another wave may arise and falls. appears and disappears. Then what you worry about of death? Why do we worry about or fear of death? The pure awareness is always on. It's not born. It's unborn, so it won't die. The contents of the awareness comes and goes. The contents of awareness come and go. You don't come and go. The contents of awareness appears and disappear, appear and disappear. You don't appear and disappear. You are always on. If you really realize what I'm saying, your marks are not 60 now. Your marks will be reached to 70 of this final exam. You are not only a B, you have B plus, A minus. If I say Buddha got marks of A plus, we're not so far, from the Buddha anymore. The Buddha nature in you is kind of take its form and try open like a flower. The seed of the Buddha nature is, like after so many years of meditation, nourished, cultivated, the seed of Buddha nature is trying to get out of the mud or earth, become a sample. It's SAPPLE, right? Then try to grow and grow. Can you feel that? After so many years of buried in the ignorance, we are buried. The seed of Buddhahood or Buddha nature is buried so many years. In the ignorance. Now, wisdom come to visit you, or you try to understand the wisdom, insight of life. Also, you try to still the mind by meditation, by samatha. All this cultivation, nourish you, and the seed of awakening is taking its form, is growing. Hello, Vikas. Yes, but I carry loads of karma, difficult to resolve. In Vipassana, we have to fulfill 10 paritas, good deeds. Good question. Not only you carry loads of karma, I carry the loads, maybe more loads of karma. Everyone carries some sort of karma. But my dear friend, you have to understand, karmic force is empty. Okay, that's true understanding is very critical in awakening. Everything is empty. That's the epic teaching of Buddha. Yes, karmic force influence you, influence me, influence everyone, influence animal, influence cat, dog, everything. Even a cloud in the sky is in karma. I mean, it's conditioned by every other forces or elements. Yet all these are empty. Nothing can defy pure awareness. Yet everything manifests from or arises from the pure awareness. If you can have this true understanding and you believe it, you trust it, then all this belief will change you from this day or the day you believe it. Because it's like you realize you are a conscious mirror, and every reflection has no power over you. Make sense to you? No reflection in the mirror can really influence the mirror itself. No programming or no drama or landscape in the smart TV can defy the smart TV. The smart TV is always pure. In the same way, no karmic force can truly, really defy you or influence you or manage you, because you are always the boss, no matter how powerful the CEO looks like. This understanding must be confirmed by you, the awareness. Then let's call this is sudden enlightenment. Then after this day one of sudden enlightenment, all your practice, like what you said, parameters, good deeds, you keep on doing what you're feeling good, what makes you feeling good. Only when you realize no karmic force can will truly, really influence you, then you have the possibility to unload the karma or deload karma or whatever, or discharge. The habitual thinking behavior, you know, the karmic, the imprints of our subconsciousness is huge. It don't disappear in one day. Yet you understand, no matter how powerful, how heavy it looks, they don't have real power over you. Then you may unload your karma. Truly, one by one, day by day, step by step. That's a vipassana. That's a true vipassana. You have that insight now. That's a wisdom of understanding the total picture. It's difficult to dissolve, yes, yet nothing can stick to you. Yeah. Nothing can really stick to you. If you really see its emptiness, karmic force is empty. Empty to you, the pure awareness, the pure consciousness. It's pure because there's nothing can defy it, right? Make sense to you? If you really understand, there's a second step. I mean, the first step is nothing can defy you, can disturb you, or agitates you, or condition you. Now, if you understand step one, then step two is you can use every conditioning, you can transform every karmic force to serve. The ability of your behavior, your background, your education, your speciality, your professionalism will serve you instead of burden you. Do you follow? That's the power of transformation, a shift of perception. In Buddhist teaching, we say 转80成4智. So we transform 8 consciousness into 4 wisdoms. And one of the 4 wisdom is the great mirror wisdom. You can be self-aware, like pure mirror. And you notice every reflection are reflected by you. And they have no power over you. Then you can try to manipulate every reflection. I try to manipulate, manage, control. Yet fundamentally they're beyond management and control. That's the important thing. Okay, lots being said today. Maybe we're back to the home, the inner stillness, recognize the inner peace, inner calm, inner silence. This is a critical step. Step one. Then when you can have this step one, then you will naturally have step two. Have more understanding, more wisdom, more clarity, more stability, and so on. Every monk and the scripture made me convinced that karmic power is supreme than all supernatural power. Thank you. From now onwards, I will take control. Before you can take control, observe first. Step one, observe. Observe from the field of inner calm, peace, stillness, and silence. Observe the contents of the awareness. Observe the vibrations, the energies, the powers. Okay. Power, no matter it's karmic force, karmic power, supreme power, is observed by you. Like now, you, the awareness, is behind all these contents, behind my talks, my words, behind your body sensations, your understandings. Sometimes observe first. Let they play. Let the comics, the karma, how to say, manifest in your pure observation. Let them come. Do not afraid of their coming. Don't rush to manage them before you can have that pure observation. Also, you can see how you respond, how your body mind respond to that situation, a person or memory or whatever, or relation. See your reactions to that situation, to that person. Can you be still enough to watch your reactions? Only when you can establish that firm observation, then you can act truly from your heart, by your heart, in your heart. And from there, every action you take, every thought you take, every perception you take has no influence over you. You are free from karmic force from that moment, from this moment. I want to really, really, then your actions and interactions don't create more karmic force or imprints in you. It's like you stop load your karma, then you can begin to unload your karma. Actually, ultimately, it doesn't take any time or any situation to do that. Once you realize you're already free, you're originally free, my dear friend. You're originally unconditioned, undefiled. That's the beauty of Buddha's teaching. Once you realize you're originally free, unconditioned, unlimited, then no condition, no limitation can influence you. And you cut the whole karmic force, no matter how supreme it looks like, in an instant. That's called sudden enlightenment. Because now, as conscious mirror, you realize all the reflections are weak. No self, no true self in them. Like shadows, like bubbles, like shadows. A shadow has no true self. It's always a product of the human body or any object, right? In that relation, in that perception, in that understanding, you realize no supreme power has a shadow like. Then even the control loses meaning. You don't need to control the shadows. They are empty. They are unreal. The moment you understand this, they disappear. All the karmic influence disappear in you. No matter how many years of accumulation the karmic force is. Even, I mean, the karma may be accumulated at this life, from the previous life, from a lot of lives before. No matter how gross it is, how big it seems like, it's a shadow. Crazy. It's a shadow. How can shadow influence? How are you scared of a shadow? 一切有为法，如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电。That's the Diamond Sutra. All this phenomenal world are bubble-like, shadow-like, lightning-like, dream-like, illusion-like, morning dew-like, is fleeting, is transient. It has no true self. Don't confirm the existence of karma by yourself. In front of you, the true boss, no CEO has power over you. You can fire the CEO anytime. Or you don't fire them, you just use them. The karmic force will transform to the power to serve, to love, to care. Every memory you have, every experience you had will become your technique to serve. And everybody is so different, is so unique. You appreciate your unreal karmic force behind you. You see that shift. You see that change of perception. It's a gift instead of burden. Imagine you cannot think, you can talk, you cannot talk, you cannot act, you cannot argue. Who are you? What you can do? You cannot care, you cannot serve, you cannot love. Why you are here? Why we are here? If we cannot think, talk, act. We like a stone, like a rock. Even cat or dog can bring a friendship to human beings. Transform your karmic force that seems like a burden to a power of serving, caring, and loving. Once you realize the karmic force is empty, or karma is empty, is illusion-like, shadow-like, dream-like, bubble-like, morning dew-like, lightning-like. That's all the words in the Diamond Sutra, the epic teaching of Buddha. Now I really, really appreciate Buddha's teaching. It was so profound. No conventional teachings or like educational system teaching can unveil this truth, like this truth, like so true. So control disappears. You play. It's more joyful play, more interesting play. Where is the playground? Your world, your family, your relationship, in your memory, in your body and mind, in every situation, in every coordinates of space and time. Maybe don't think it's too early to say that to you. No, everyone should have this total picture first. Then we can work on the details. Otherwise, we are burdened. We are we're frightened by the karmic force. You make the unreal opponent real. That definitely bad strategy. Make sense to you? You imagine your opponent of ego or karma is so huge, and you believe into true. You make it into a real thing by believing it is so true. No, the moment you see it's a shadow, it's a bubble, it's an illusion, you defeat it at the deepest level. Even defeat is not a good word here. You see through five scanners are all empty. It's like in a very cloudy day, overcasting day. Oh, it's so heavy clouds. I cannot see sunlight. It's so gray, so dark. But a master came to you. Hey, you can unveil all these clouds in 1 second, 1 nanosecond, in instant. Then boom, all clouds, heavy clouds disappears in 1 second. Wow, bright blue sky. Instantly, my dear friend. At least you understand what I'm saying is true. Then you can practice to to realize the truth by your experience, in your situation, by your realization. Make sense to you, my dear friend Vikas? So if no further question, let's back to the home, the inner stillness. The home is always here and now, actually, but we can say consciously choose to recognize this inner stillness, inner silence, which is always there, our original face. This is a critical step of awakening. It's a step one. Then you can naturally have a step two, step three. The door is open to you. The door of freedom is opened for you, or you recognize the door of freedom is here and now, is in the inner silence, in the inner stillness. Everyone has it. Everyone has it, are it. Everyone is it. Then that's critical. So that's why I always sit a little bit before any talks. If you can access to inner stillness, inner silence from moment in a meditation or in a talks like this, then you have more access to it. You are it. You realize you are it always. That's so critical, so important. For most people, they have a very good intellect understanding, but they don't realize this. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of knowledge in their head, in their brain, but they don't have this true realization at their heart. That's a problem. They don't want to practice. They have knowledge, but they don't want to practice. No, it's wrong. Practice and knowledge has to be like together, combined. A Buddha is a master of 2 feet. A master of 2 feet, right? You can balance just left, right, left, right, left, right. Then a master of 2 feet of what? Practice knowledge, practice knowledge, practice knowledge. That's all. This universal law can apply to every worldly technique. If we want to play piano, knowledge, theory, practice, play. Knowledge, theory, practice, play. Everything is the same. The same, it applies to the awakening too. Knowledge, everything is emptiness. Then I practice, I meditate, I observe, I see the emptiness really from my perception, from my situation, from my experience. Then an infinite door is opening to you. A door of infinity, I will say. There's bottom line of awakening. There's no top line. There's a bottom ground of awakening, but there's no top ceiling of awakening. And the bottom line is you can access, acknowledge your inner stillness, inner calm, and rest in it by seconds, by minutes, by hours, by days, by month. Boom. You're on a rocket of awakening. With high speed in a shortcut. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, my dear friends. Bye. See you next time. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know exact time. Thank you. Bye now.